Today it is Book Review Friday, and as the title says, I'm talking about Fairest by Marissa Meyer. Fairest is the prequel of the Lunar Chronicles. However, I recommend that you have read all 3 of the Lunar Chronicles published yet, or if you're watching this much later, because some people might eventually, read up to Cress at least before you read this, because it reveals some things in there that make sense and flow with the story, but I'm definitely going to be comparing it to the previous 3 books, so if you don't want to be spoiled, you don't want to watch this video. Fairest is the story of Lavanna and how she became queen. We start things out when she's just a princess right after her parents have died and just before her sister is crowned queen, and we go all the way until the death of her husband and Winter's father. Now, I give this a 3.5 out of 5 stars because Lavanna is a monster, and it is not an easy read. This is not something you pick up that's lighthearted and very fast to go through. Although this is incredibly short at only 220 pages, I found it really hard to read. And people who did power through it within 1 or 2 days, they talked about that this isn't an easy read because Lavanna is such a monster. OMG. It only got that rating because it was hard to read for me. It took me like 2 weeks. I didn't enjoy it very much. I just felt disgusted. That's the main feeling you feel, because this is the villain, and she is a villain, and she is so full of herself and so full of crap. I'm doing this for the betterment of my people. I'm doing this for the betterment of my society. I'm doing this for Everett's own good and all this other crap. And she's so full of crap. Oh, it's terrible. What did I like? Shannery. You know, you're warned over and over again. Shannery, the previous queen, was no better than Lavanna. But actually, in some ways, she was. While their parents didn't take care of them at all, you know, Shannery loved Celine. She loved poor little Cinder. She cared about her. She is the only noble Lavanna's ever heard of that fed Celine on her own, that changed her diapers on her own, that slept with her next to her bed so that if Celine cried at all, she'd get up and take care of her. It was like, wow, she really, really, really loved her child. Then, because she was having sex in caves that were known for a disease, she got the disease. And she died when Celine was an infant still. And Lavanna became queen. Now, was Shannery a good queen? No. Was she even a good person? No. But I think she was a good mother, which is surprising. You know, would Celine have become a monster instead of the hero that Cinder is? Probably. But I think it would have been more the culture because, you know, at least she would have known what a parent's love was, which she never knew because, you know, not even a year after she was born, her mother died. She specifically wanted to have every male in the entire country want to have sex with her. That was Shannery's idea. She was a terrible queen. She had no clue what she was doing. She didn't know anything about politics. She didn't give a damn. She was there to party and have sex. Is Lavanna a better queen? More politically savvy? Yes. Any less ruthless? Any less full of herself? No, not at all. The difference is that Shannery knew. She didn't even pretend. She's like, do whatever you feel the need to do to better this country, because I'm not going to rule it. Shannery was pretty much like that. She's like, I'm going to be the queen, but y'all have the power. She was pretty upfront and frank. She's like, no, I don't care that I want to have sex with everybody. It's not that big of a deal to me. And she was really just blunt, and that's probably why Lavanna is the opposite. She is everything that Shannery was. She basically raped Everett the whole time. She forced him into this relationship, took him from the memory of his wife, tampered with his memories. Oh my god, what a monster. Murderer of her own people. You know, she's no better than Shannery, except she's more politically savvy. And she lies. Shannery was upfront and frank. There's this controversy. Is Cinder, what does she look like? Is she Asian looking or not? The answer is no. Because Shannery, she prided herself that she wouldn't use a glamour. What you see is what she looked like. Dark brown skin, wide brown eyes. Dark brown, black hair. That's what you learn in this. It's made quite clear. No, she probably looks more Hispanic, Latino, or Indian from India versus Chinese, Japanese, what Prince Kai looks like probably. But again, this is so far in the future that all of Asia is one country. It's not like, different places. Like, Chinese does look very different from Korean, which looks different from Japanese, which looks different from Thai. They're a mix, so it could be a variety of things, but does she look Chinese? No. Oh my gosh, Levana and Everett. How messed up was that? I feel so bad for Winter and so bad for poor Everett. Poor Everett, who is just used. Every few pages I would have to put this book down because I could not stand Everett, the poor main victim here. And then, oh my gosh, and then the other horrible thing Levana did. What she did to Celine. Like, I understand. She was set on fire by Shannery. Hence the veil thingies. Hence the never showing her face because she has severe scar damage. Could she get it removed now? Yes. But she refuses to remove the scars because it makes her a victim. She has such a victim complex. It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh, she has such a victim complex. It's so bad. But to set a toddler on fire to try to kill her is just god awful. I'm like, just poison her and blame a servant. I mean, that sounds terrible, but they just killed the servant right there. Oh, instead of setting her on fire. Oh, poor Celine. Poor Cinder. Oh my gosh. And poor Winter. Oh. Oh man, it's so bad. And then the end with Everett, her having Everett killed, thinking that he was a hero. God. What a monster! I hate Levana! From the first time we really see her and what she can do, I really wanted to read her death. And this book has only made it even worse. I really enjoyed the first 2 chapters of Winter. I'm dying to read that. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Oh man, and Winter knows, and oh, Jason is with Winter again, and he's alive. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait for it. Oh, I'm dying to get my hands on it. I mentioned in my Cinder book review, I will link it down below, there's a huge plot hole that this only makes stronger. If they killed Levana at the beginning in Cinder, they were like, well, it would start a World War III. No, it wouldn't. You know why? Because there is no leadership. First of all, we know that Winter is not noble at all. She doesn't have a single drop of noble blood in her veins. There is no way she could rule. They might put her up as a puppet, but there would be this huge fight of who would marry Winter to gain control. Meanwhile, Winter would be losing her mind and wouldn't know what to do. She has no clue how to rule. She can play the game against her stepmother, barely. Like, the whole thing set up, the big plot hole is still there. If they killed Levana off in Cinder, which they should have done, the threat to the Earth would disappear. Luna could not respond. Because they have no leadership. There are the Thermitages and that's it. And they wouldn't last very long when the entire nobility of like 100 houses or 100 families or whatever it is, they would have gone into a huge civil war. Luna would have lost everything. And they can't survive without conquering the Earth. They have this big military with no resources. They can't feed their military for very long. They could not last past the Civil War, as long as that would last. They couldn't do it. It's set up very clearly that the Eastern Commonwealth and the Earth are a bunch of morons because they just had to kill her. That's all they need to do. And there's no control when halfway across the world a person presses a button and blows up a building. There's no way she could control someone from that far. Oh, I'm so frustrated about it. I'm like, Marissa Meyer, you made it very clear. There's no way that they could last a civil war. If Levana dies, they're screwed because she has no kids. And I don't even think she can have a kid because she had sex with Everett a bazillion times, never got pregnant. Shannery had sex a bunch of times, and she got pregnant real fast. Maybe she can't have kids because of the fire. I don't know. She was a little girl. We don't know exactly what burned, but definitely her face. Oh, that's so annoying that the plot hole is still there. I'm so glad I managed to finish this. I do recommend that you read this, as frustrating to read as it is, because we are on Luna now. Cinder with Cress, they're going to Luna. You need this information. Should you read this before Cinder? Hell no. You need to read this after Cress. That's what I think. This is why it's called 3.5 technically. It's a prequel, but it's not called 0.5 like many prequels do. It's Lunar Chronicles numbers 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Instead of 0.5, 1, 2, 3. I was mostly excited for the winter chapters, and I can't wait to read it. Hopefully, Marissa Meyer will come back to Phoenix during the winter thing so I can get winter signed like Fairest. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to see more every Fridays, a book review. Good luck with your reading, and I hope you find something a little easier to read than this was for me. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye! I recommend that you read at least Cinder through Cress before, at least. Got through it within 1 or 2 days. Why did I do that? Well, their parents and all of well, what am I trying to say? I didn't write anything down because it's such a short book. Because she's a hoe. So I love those things from the things. I'm making so much sense today. I have to wait a few more months. More than a few, actually. Several more months. Don't fall. I thought of something else to talk about. I forgot what it was. My Cinder movie. I was mostly excited for the winter. Bleh. So much for watching, please.